Good morning, welcome to a morning review on Friday the 29th of May. This is Kim Watson speaking for Easy Trader. So looking at the euro dollar first, and as you can see yesterday we've put in this positive bar, which is in effect giving us a bullish pivot swing. And the only thing is we do have resistance just above us at the 8 moving average upper bands here. We're just not far away. If we could, the ultimate target there, if we do continue the upside, would be that 4-hourly 50. Now, as I said yesterday, my overall thoughts of these markets is bearish. However, we may be in for a bit more of a could continue in this vein, although we've got the daily pivot below us, which is relatively bearish. But we have had now a series of high. Well, we've got a higher high, higher low, and followed by another higher high. Now, if we were to break this Asian session highs here, where we could be on back for the pivot, and maybe a little bit further up there, but certainly the R1 10999. 110 would be a reasonable target to be looking for if we break that sort of level. Of course, it's really dependent on how we click this morning, or we follow through this morning. We've not yet pushed on through yesterday's highs. Let's just check that. No, we're not really through yesterday's highs yet. If we do, well, then it really does trigger that pivot swing and suggest that we may see a bit more bullishness. If we can hold back here and perhaps catch the pivot, maybe it will roll over again. We'll see. But a little bit indecisive really on where we are there. As I say, there is an erring now towards a more bullish market maybe in the short term. But remember, today is the last day of the G7 meetings. There's not a lot of other news that's due out today, so it could just track itself up there. Now, cable still bearish in terms of its overall moves here, so it's especially on the 4-hourly, you can just see it's quite clearly, just continuing putting these lower highs in, lower lows. That's certainly sitting there at the moment. Now, with those, let's just bring this into view. There is one thing to bear in mind, is that there is a double divergence going on through these. In other words, you've been putting these lower highs in, but the RSI has just been coming up, so you've got this sort of conflict of strength versus the move down there. So maybe we could be pushing for a reversal at some point here. Looking at the shorter time frames here, and well, we're sort of in a bit of a squeeze around that 50 at the moment. Perhaps if we can see a break of the high Asian session highs, we could be on for the R1 and yesterday's highs. The 100 moving average are all sort of around that area, but we need to see this as a really, I'd like to see this all together with the euro pushing up as well. So that's that way. To continue in trend, really would be looking post 8 o'clock for a breakdown of this sort of trend line that's running across here. Is probably it depends how you draw it. The more near-term one would be probably let's get rid of that. Would be a clearer one. It won't be the earliest one to enter, but it will be the safer one to enter. If it continues running down this way, breaks below the daily pivot, and maybe taking out those Asian session low there, I'd be looking for yesterday's lows and the S1. Okay, so dollar yen. Well, dollar yen carried on making new highs yesterday, running up to 124.50 just about. I think no, that was around about. I mean, it's staying around those prior highs at the moment, but it could just sorry, it's 4-hourly charts. Look at the dailies. There we go. It did it earlier on in the morning, so it could push back up for those highs yet again. There's certainly a chance of that. Looking at the hourlies here, bit split on this at the moment. A break. We've got this sort of head and shoulders going on the hourly ollies here, break those lows, could see us running back down at least to the probably midi here at 123, or maybe even beyond, back towards this 100 MA. Certainly if we see a break of that level, with that shoulders broken up here though, really we'll be back in looking back for yesterday's highs. And finally, Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar, big down day in the end yesterday. I'm still looking at the potential for the Aussie to come down and catch the 76 area, or 75, 76 area. Now it's there are a significant amount of buy orders sitting around on the Aussie around these levels, which may just be a reason why it's bouncing as it is. It did get pretty close, 76.17. It got pretty close, just run into a load of buy orders sitting at those levels. Still though, it's looking bearish, but those buy orders may just see it off. Now we've got the daily pivot just above, which I expect that will get caught this morning. But really, I've got to look just with the trend. The only way I'm going to trade this for now is if it breaks this trend level. I'll be looking on the short side again. For a bit of a slow burner each day, but it has developed, given the profits there. So we'll look at that. I'd like to see that daily pivot hit first, and then if it breaks this lower trend line, I'll be looking towards the short side. Okay, that's it for me. As I say, not a lot of news out today. We've got Canadian GDP at 130. That is a monthly figure, so it has less movement than normal. But sorry, I didn't notice there. We've got the US GDP in at 130 as well. Now that's this second number. That could create some more volatility. In fact, that's certainly quite a potential for a bit more volatility now. At one stage they weren't really creating anything at all, but now these GDP figures are really, the secondary ones as well, are starting to create increase the volatility that they create within the market. So be watching for that for 130. As I said, G7 meetings running all day, so we could have speakers coming out from that midday-ish as well. So some potential volatility today. That's it for me. Hope you have a great one. Bye for now.